You will be watching a portion from the episode called Schizoid Man from The Prisoner, the 1967-68 television series broadcast primarily in the Great Britain area. The sound has been turned off. Number 6 has just met with this young lady to prove there was some kind of a mental telepathy connection between them. Now we're into the control room, sort of the all-seeing eye room. Notice the cameras swirling around as if nothing escapes them. Okay, now number 6, that's Patrick McGowan in bed. He's given a number. He's number 6. Now watch what happens to him. Okay, notice they called that the pulsator. Pulses. Electrical impulses being used upon number 6 or Patrick McGowan. And notice it's something above him like a light, and he's not aware that there's a device in his room that's actually used for mind control. Now there are many devices around you that are used for mind control. And I'm not going to get specific on that right at the moment. Now watch it descend. Notice he said oral, meaning words. So you've got electrical impulses and you've got words. Okay, now that's pretty much a lot of things around you, like a television set or radio. And even the airwaves, when you're not in front of a television set or a radio, you're still getting electrical impulses, and you might be getting sounds that you don't know because they're either above the range of human hearing or below the range of human hearing. Now notice the use of the flashing lights too. Flashing lights, electrical impulses, sounds, vocals. All of this has to do with control and hypnosis. Putting the human body, soul, and spirit into a sort of a subconscious state whereby you're not aware that you're being manipulated. And basically speaking, what you're looking at there, that pulsator, that's the mass media. Okay, so now they're going to introduce another factor in controlling the will and the mind of people. That is drugs. Okay, at the current recording of this, we're in a situation whereby many people have voluntarily gone to get done what is being done to McGowan, or number 6 right now, involuntarily. He's asleep, and notice what he's getting. But imagine a population that lines up to get it willingly. Who knows just precisely what in the blue blazes went into that and then into human body. Nothing good. Now notice how they had on goggles. They were sort of protecting themselves from the flashing lights. Now, you probably don't realize this, but when you watch television or even watch a video, even as you're watching this video, the screen in front of you is pulsating with lights. And the flashes of light are so fast that you really don't realize there's a pulsating flash rate in front of you. But that's exactly how the images are created, is by the pulsating lights. The flicker rate is what it's called. And the flicker rate right now is really high and really great because it creates the ability to take the conscious mind and immediately get it into an unconscious state so that it is extremely open to the power of suggestion. And that's how the mass media functions, especially the visual mass media. You just basically go into a hypnotic state almost immediately. Now, the reason I can say that is you can have it proved to yourself by doing the following. Walk into a room where people are watching television. Do not watch television, but watch the people watching television. And you'll see what I mean, that they are in a sleep-like state. So the flickering lights, the verbal, the pulsating pulses, and the drugs all spell we're going to take your identity and we're going to bring you into conformity to the village and into conformity of what number 2 wants you to be. Okay, now before you say, oh, this is just a television series, just a movie, just a science fiction thing, what I'm going to say to you is that's you and that's me being carried off. All right? At least I can say that was me. Not right now, but there was a time that that was me. I was under the influence of all those things and more. By the way, using the word under the influence, I'm going to add the biggest power behind all of that are the powers of the evil spirits in the demonic world. Now take a look at the light on number 2. That was number 2 there in the control panel. Number 2 is just delighted. So they're going to mess around with time, the date, and the actual time. Now, what you're observing is they're going to do some dermatology on his body. He has a mole on his left wrist area, and they're going to remove the mole. And after they remove it, they're going to plant it on a double so that Patrick McGowan will be persuaded that he's number 12, not number 6. Okay, the physical aspect of doing little things like taking the mole away, they're going to do much more on the physical. This is the transformation of a sovereign person with a solid mind and a good thinking ability into an individual who is in complete conformity to the will of the state or the collective and is in agreement with all the propaganda and all the lies. And that's what they hope to do to all of us. Hope to do it to me and to you, you my listener, and anyone. So now they're going to do a little bit of conditioning, and they're going to use, once again, electrical shock. They want to convince him that he's no longer right-handed, but he's left-handed. So every time he goes to grab that instrument with his right hand, he will be shocked. But when he grabs it with the left hand, he's, in a sense, rewarded. It's just simple classical conditioning, like you would have studied in college in Psych 80. So they're trying to return him back to the original date and time, so that this whole period of time where he's reprogrammed, reconditioned, is completely gone from his thinking. And that's why they bring the calendar back to February the 10th, Wednesday, and to try to make him think that all these days that they've been working with him never existed. So now we see the actual physical appearance change. They made sure that he had a mustache. His hair looks a little different. His facial features look a little slightly different. And of course that mole is gone from his left hand. So he's going to be now told he's number 12, not number 6. And you might call that like identity theft. That they're stealing his true identity in the village and giving him a phony identity. Now that is what has happened in the hoax lie system. They have stolen your true identity. And what is your true identity? You are an individual who was made by the Creator, God, in the image and likeness of Almighty God, for the purpose of knowing, loving, and serving Almighty God. And what identity have they given you? They have given you the false identity that you are just simply a number in a system, meant only to be a slave to the system and to be productive so that they can take at least 1/3 of your productivity here on this earth. And by that I mean if you add up all the various taxes that we pay, it's at least 1/3, and it's possibly approaching even more than 1/3, and a large portion of your life that really truly belonged to you was stolen from you, and your true identity was stolen from you, so that everything you think you own, you have it in capital letters of your name. Okay? And all that is that's a corporation. You are a corpse with an oration. Nothing more, according to the hoax lie system. Now, according to God, you were made in His image and likeness and meant to be obedient and loving to Him and to serve Him. So these two things are in a way presented in this television series, but in a way hidden, because I'm adding a strong biblical interpretation for you, that you're looking at the man that they've created, not the true man, who is called number 6. That man they don't want. They want the man who's in complete agreement with everything and cooperates with the system and actually helps them in the system. So Patrick McGowan is going to wake up, and he's going to be extremely confused when he wakes up about his appearance, and then everyone around him is going to try to convince him that he's number 12. Remember, they don't have names in the village, just numbers. But he knows at first he's number 6. But then he does have a real crisis and sort of begins to start to believe that he is number 12. So that's why they call this episode the Schizoid Man. Now schizoid or schizo means split. And if you've heard of schizophrenic or schizophrenic, that means split thinking. Split thinking. Phrenia. Thinking. Thoughts. Thinking. Schizo. Split. So he's the split man. And we're going to see that here in another video that I'll make. So once again, I'd like to thank you for watching. And the way out of all of this stuff is just basically this: to know who you are. You were made in God's image and likeness, to love and serve Him. And no matter what this system says, no matter what this system does, that cannot be changed. Thank you for watching. End of video.